Hello, everyone. I just want to do a quick video to sort of bring us up to date on where we are with Oscar Wilde. I hope you had a chance to watch the film. It's actually quite a good film um, about Wilde, about the dramatic events towards the end of his life. And I just wanted to make sure that we all knew sort of what this work, De Profundis, is. If you watched the film, and I hope you did, it's a part of the course. It is a fictionalized, but it's based on fact. Oscar Wilde was a real person, a very prominent writer, poet, and especially playwright of the late 19th century in England. Wilde was an Irishman who uh, came over, went to Oxford, and then became a public figure, a wit, a poet, a writer, an essayist. He had a very successful speaking tour in America as a young man. He was very, very well received. Went all across America and was very, very well received here. And then I think beginning in the late 1880s or early 1890s, became a very successful playwright. The Importance of Being Earnest, Lady Windermere's Fan, um, other hit plays. And at the height of his fame, as is portrayed in the film, he engaged himself in a court case where he sued somebody for libel. And you need to really watch the film to know the details of that. And that libel had to do in a very odd way with this person accusing him of being a so-called sodomite, which was an old-fashioned term for what they used to call unnatural practices, and that meant sexual practices. And although the term sodomy was a catch-all term for whatever was disapproved of in terms of sexual activity, one of its primary meanings was gay sex, homosexuality, homosexual sex. So that was a crime. That's the background that you absolutely need to know, that in the England of the 1890s, sodomy was a crime. It was actually a criminal offense. That is, to engage in sex with one man engaging in sex with another was a crime. So it may not be clear what happened in the film. Wilde sued this man, the Marquis of Queensberry, the father of his friend Bosie, Lord Alfred Douglas, who was either his friend or his lover. We're not really sure, for what he did. And Wilde lost that case, and lost that case disastrously, in the sense that it led immediately to his prosecution for sodomy. That is, the evidence that was put forth by Queensberry's defense lawyers indicated that Wilde indeed, perhaps or probably, I don't know, was involved with other men. And so he was then prosecuted and convicted of sodomy. And at the end of the film, he goes to jail. He goes to Reading Jail for 2 years hard labor. I mean, real time for sodomy. And De Profundis is what he wrote in prison. So this really happened. The events in the film are pretty much correct in terms of the basics of what Wilde did and then what happened to him. So De Profundis is his prison writings. As he wrote this long, it begins as a letter to Alfred Douglas, which in this early edition was censored. It's really not that interesting, actually. The interesting stuff is what we're starting with here in this early edition. So I just want you to know that the De Profundis, which in Latin means out of the depths, right? And that's Wilde saying that he is in the depths. He's in prison. He's lost everything. He's lost his family. He's lost his reputation. He's lost his money. He's lost his books. He's lost his house. He's lost everything. And writing from out of the depths of being a convicted criminal, he is writing an account of himself and his thoughts while he's in prison. So I just wanted you to know that this is what this is, De Profundis. And now let's just wrap up the practical things. I'm sorry, Wednesday's reading I forgot to either assign a discussion board or give you page numbers. That's okay. We'll break it down to 3 readings. The first one will be due Sunday night. Tomorrow, I'm recording this on Thursday. Tomorrow, Friday, is a day of mourning for President Epps, so I'm pushing back the due date for the discussion board to this coming Sunday evening, and then distributing the rest of the readings for Monday and Wednesday of next week. That's all you need to know.